What's good, YouTube? Skilzin1985 here. Welcome you back to another Pokemon Go PvP video. Did a few Great League battles a couple of weeks ago, but when the PvP league came out in the games. But I've been working a lot since, so it's not been something I've been paying too much attention to. But a lot more videos coming regarding Pokemon Go PvP. For more, say, beginners, because I'm kind of a beginner with PvP for Pokemon Go. It's something I've kept up with, but not immensely, so it is nice for me to discover stuff, share it with you guys, and just have a good time. So if you're hyped for this, please like on the video and subscribe if you are new. So this is going to be the top 30 Pokemon for the Great League, which is 1500 CP or less. So you do tend to see if you have done Great League before, you see pretty much a good chunk of the same Pokemon being the top one being, well, I'd say some of the top ones there: Registeel, Altaria, Bastiodon, Deoxys Defense, Azumarill, Skarmory. I'd say they were the main ones that I've seen personally. I know that a Pokemon like Probopass caused a bit of a splash, but now we have got new Pokemon in the game, obviously Alomomola and other things like that. Things like Zweilous being obviously don't evolve all the way to Hydreigon, and Zweilous is very, very powerful. So we're going to break them down from top to bottom and just talk about the Pokemon in general, because what I like about Pokemon Go PvP compared to normal competitive Pokemon is you see Pokemon here that are good. They would never be good any other time. I mean, you try and tell me in competitive Pokemon that Stunfisk is any good, or Wormadam trash. Literally, it's called trash for a reason, but apparently not in Pokemon Go. So, let's jump to the top. So we have Registeel. Registeel is an absolute monster for Pokemon, regardless of what you play, what format you play. Registeel is just hard to get round. This thing can just tank a lot of hits. If you use your shields correctly, this thing is a monster. Lock on Flash Cannon, Focus Blast being the optimal move set. I think I had to love mine with Hyper Beam. That was a bad move. Next we have Umbreon. Umbreon with the Snarl, Foul Play, Last Resort. Can hit really hard with that Last Resort, and then you've got the Snarl as well. My brain's still going into Pokemon main series games where I think of these moves, but they're still very powerful, and even more powerful so in Pokemon Go. Mandibuzz up next. Mandibuzz in the main series games again. I'm going to be talking there a lot about the main series games just because it's where I know things from. But a very bulky Pokemon where I think it's got a lot of stamina in Pokemon Go and can just take a lot of hits and then hit some of the fighting Pokemon, things like that, with the flying moves. We have Snarl, Foul Play, and Aerial Ace. That'll take out things like your Tropius, which Tropius was also quite a popular one, if I remember, from, was it Worlds, when they did Pokemon Go. Altaria needs no explanation. Dragon Breath, Sky Attack, Dragon Pulse. There's no 4 times weakness in this, so it's not like hit it with ice and it just dies. This thing shreds. It absolutely shreds. Altaria, one of the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I don't see it being beaten anytime soon, because most of the dragons have been released. Like, if it's wireless and you can't get a Hydreigon that low, I don't think you're beating Altaria anytime soon. Bastiodon as well, because of the no 4 times weakness in Pokemon Go, this thing is insane. If it wasn't 4 times weak to fighting in the main series games, it would be so much better, and it has the Stone Edge, the Smackdown, the Flamethrower. The Flamethrower, again, is more meta for the Skarmories because it's going to hit a lot of Skarmories. Then it's also good against other Bastiodons because if it hits a wall of just like 2 Bastiodons, you need something to start hitting things. We have Deoxys. Deoxys Defense is another one. It's just a bit of a wall that can hit remarkably hard with Counter Rock Slide and Thunderbolt. Now, just going to stop right here. These are optimal move sets, but I think your charge move here, so your Flamethrower on your Bastiodon and your Thunderbolt on Deoxys, they're literally there. So Thunderbolt on Deoxys is to deal with Azu and it's to deal with Skarmory. They're the 2 main reasons that Thunderbolt is on there. You can use other moves, but these are obviously optimal for the best Pokemon in the game. So there are other moves you can use if you are new to the game, if you don't have all the TMs in the world to change these moves around, but this is optimal for what you can have. So you have Scrafty. Scrafty's a new one to Pokemon Go that you actually only get through the Pokemon Go PvP League, which I haven't actually got myself yet, but I will hopefully get that soon. Counter Foul Play and Power Up Punch. I can't say a lot about this one just because I've not really come across in just in general in the PvP circle, but I can see it being very good against the Bastiodons and the Umbreons, and it's good against the Registeels and the Probopass, even Regirock, looking at this list. It would fall to the Skarms and would fall to the Azu, but again, not without the 4x weakness to Fairy that Scrafty suffers from in the main series games. It doesn't get as annihilated by the Foul Play Azu. Azu and Skarmory. They are literally, again, no explanations really needed for this. For newer players, if you have these Pokemon and you have them under 1500 CP with some good IVs, these are one of your bread and butter for Great League. They are everywhere. Azumarill is just all round, always being a very good Pokemon in general in Pokemon. It's not so much just in Pokemon Go PvP or anything like that. It's just a generally good Pokemon. It's just ran differently in the main series games. But again, this thing it attacks very fast, play rough charges quite fast. It's got the Ice Beam. The Ice Beam deals with the Altaria and your Mandibuzz, and it hurts the Skarmories and things like that. It's all about trying to counter each other in that respect, because you have got a very quick game with your switches and things like that. Dugong. Dugong is a very interesting one. Very bulky Ice type. Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and Water Pulse. Again, it can hold its own against your Bastiodon. Skarmory can't do a lot to this thing. It can probably hold off Registeel a couple of times. It can take a couple of flash cannons before it falls over. Vigoroth being much better than Slacking in Pokemon Go in general. Because Slacking in the main series games can only attack every other turn, but obviously it's not a turn-based game in PvP. It just gets Yawn, I think it is. So it just can't do any damage with its fast move, it just needs charge moves. So Vigoroth just being able to hit harder with counter body slam and brick break. Counter and brick break again. Look at those top: Bastiodon, Umbreon, Registeel, Scrafty, Probopass, Regirock. It's gonna hit hard, and with normal only having weakness to fighting, it's a very, very good. Normal's a decent type. It's not going to get these stab bonuses. It's only going to get the stab bonus on the body slam, which will still do some good damage. But if you're going to go for a meta call, the other two moves are obviously just better. Cresselia. I hate Cresselia as a Pokemon. Again, main series games, tanky duck, absolutely insane. In Pokemon Go, comes with Confusion, Future Sight, and Moonblast. It's a very, very strong Pokemon because it's still going to have that natural bulk. There are some dark types, so the Scrafty, the Umbreon, and the Mandibuzz. I'm guessing those three being there, it may be why Cresselia is quite far down, well, not in 12th at least, because I'm pretty sure Cresselia was higher up on this list, but I think it's easily countered. I think there are better walls out there. Amamola, I have very high hopes for this Pokemon. Amamola, just for lols, I'm going to leave a link in the description, if I remember, of a Pokemon Showdown battle I had, where Amamola literally swept my opponent's entire team. Again, main series. There's nothing to do with Pokemon Go PvP, I just wanted to point that out. Just funny. So Waterfall, Psychic, and Blizzard. It's going to have, again, just a little bit of a natural bulk. I don't personally see these moves hitting, again, it doesn't do much against the 12 Pokemon above. Then start looking at ones below. You can use Waterfall. Well, Waterfall does hit the Bastiodon, then hits the Probopass, and the Regirock can hurt the Stunfisk, can hurt the other Pokemon. Well, there's other Pokemon further down that definitely hit the Wormadam and the Noctowl and things like that. It can just hurt. I think it's one of those Pokemon that's a bit of it's a support Pokemon. You can just come in later and just hit some really, really powerful moves. Blizzard can hit the Altaria. Blizzard can hit the Mandibuzz. Blizzard can help against the Skarmory potentially. Probopass. Probopass, again, just like Bastiodon, suffers from the 4x weakness in the main series games that doesn't suffer from that in Pokemon Go. Rock Throw, Rock Slide, and Magnet Bomb. Amazing, really, really good Pokemon. It can withstand so many hits. I'm sad I don't actually have a good nose pass under the threshold to get 1500 CP Probo Pass because I just evolved my strongest one because that's just what I do. It's what I do. But it is very good. It can hurt the Azu. The Azu can hurt it back, but then if Azu's only got the quick move bubble, it's going to get a good few magnet bombs on the super effective on the fairy typing, and then it can also withstand hits from the Skarmory because Skarmory can't really do a lot to it. It's a bit of a stalemate between those two, but I just think it's worth it. It's worth it just to sit there with Probopask. I think you're going to get a good chunk of damage on the Skarm and maybe even just force a switch, which is also very important in PvP. Regirock, Lock on Stone Edge, Focus Blast. So pretty much the same kind of move set as Registeel, just having the stab move for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge helps against Altaria, a bit against Skarmory, the Mandibuzz. Then you've got Focus Blast, which also hits the Bastiodon, the Probopass, the Registeel. The Regis just fight each other. The Umbreon, the Zweilous, even the Empoleon, which I haven't even got down to yet. Stunfisk. Stunfisk. It's like my favorite typing is Electric, but I don't see why this Pokemon even exists. Mudshot, Discharge, and Mud Bomb. I think again, Mud Bomb useful against the Regirock and the Probopass, and just again, I think it just comes down to something that's going to get a lot of stamina, and it can hit really hard. So, or hit hard enough for battles. Not going to see. I don't think you're going to see this very much in PvP. But if someone has a good set and a good way of using Stunfisk, let me know in the comment section below. So I'm interested to see how this Pokemon performs, and maybe I'll give it a go myself one day. Up next, we have Jellicent. Jellicent is also a fairly new Pokemon into Pokemon Go, with a Bubble, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam. Having that Ghost typing is just an extra type. It's just that extra good typing, I would say, just to you can get an extra Ghost Stab. It might be a good one against the Deoxys, for instance. It does full fouls things like Umbreon and Mandibuzz, and overall probably a bit outclassed by some of the other. In Stunfisk could probably wreck this thing, but then you got the Ice Beam for Stunfisk. So no, Stunfisk is trash. Let's just not talk about that. Up next, we have Medicham. Medicham Counter, Psychic, and Ice Punch. Ice Punch can deal with things like the Zweilous and the Altaria, and just generally just hit things really, really hard. Wigglytuff, quite happy with my Wigglytuff. Yeah, I got a shiny one, which is below 1500 CP and actually fairly decent IVs. Charm Player of Ice Beam. The Fairy Stab, Charm is a very powerful move, and then you have the Ice Beam against the meta. Ice Beam is just good against the meta. The Zweilous has the Dragon Breath, the Dark Pulse, and the Body Slam. A good, very, very bulky. I think it's a very bulky Pokemon, Zweilous. For a middle evolution, I think Zweilous can take a good number of hits, as long as it's not getting charmed repeatedly. Charm is one of Zweilous' worst adversaries, worst things that can happen to it. But if you can survive, you can land off some amazing hits, maybe against the Altaria, because the Altaria Sky Attack is going to hurt you, but then you've got the Dragon Breath going back. It's a bit to and fro. I think Altaria, obviously being number 4, would outmatch Zweilous in certain ways, but I think there may be a way if you can stall out the Altaria as well and come in and possibly pick up a good kill there. Up next, we have Blastoise. Nice to see Blastoise here. But it has the Water Gun, Hydro Cannon, and Ice Beam. Now, I'm going to put Empoleon and Blastoise kind of in the same boat here and then talk about the weaknesses separately. But Waterfall, Hydro Cannon, Hydro Pump for the Empoleon. So, Hydro Cannon, obviously, you need the Community Day Pokemon. So, you're going to have, so it's Squirtle Community Day and then Piplup, which was the last one, which I actually did miss. So you've got the Ice Beam. I think Ice Beam's more against the meta for the Blastoise, and you've got the 3 water moves on the Empoleon, which I'm not too sure about, whether you're just going to keep clicking Hydro Cannon until your Empoleon goes down. I think that's going to be how it's really going to be happening. The weaknesses, obviously, you got more weakness to fighting, so you're more susceptible to things like the Scrafty, and the Empoleon's going to, not the Empoleon, the Vigoroth's going to hurt you. Things with Cow like the Deoxys will hurt you more because you're part Steel. Blastoise, with an all-round, just a bit of a tanky Pokemon that's going to hit things, I'd say, very, very hard with the Hydro Cannon, and then Ice Beam again, like I say. It's for the meta, it's for the Zweilous, it's for the Skarmory, it's for the Mandibuzz, it's for the Altaria, it's for the Tropius. Things like that. Clefable. Clefable, right, Charm, Meteor Mash, Psychic is a very interesting one. Charm again, just a fantastic move. It's a quick move. It does 20 damage. It's just spam. It's really good against the Umbreon. It's really good against the Zweilous. It's really good against the Altaria. And Clefairy-Clefable line just had a bit of a natural bulk to it, really. So Meteor Mash is good against Azumarill and other fairy types that would like to try and stand in its way, like the Wigglytuff and other Clefables and things like that. So up next we have Tropius. Tropius being a bit of an outside Pokemon in general. It's one of the best designed Pokemon in my opinion, but never one that's ever seen any like constructive use. But it's very fast, and things like Aerial Ace and Leaf Blade take very little time to charge up. So Leaf Blade, Aerial Ace, Leaf Blade will demolish Empoleon, it'll demolish Blastoise, it'll demolish Regirock, it'll demolish Azumarill. Azumarill actually having the Ice Beam probably for the Tropius, but I think it's sometimes very hard for the Azumarill to get things going. If you've already got a move ready, and then they swap in your Azu and you just hit him with a Leaf Blade, the Azu's going down. Tropius is one of those dark horses, I'd say. Look out for Tropius. Up next, we have Kingdra. Kingdra is a very interesting one. Only having the one weakness to Dragon is very, very nice. Again, I know there's no resistances in Pokemon Go, but it does have there's kind of resistance in Pokemon Go. Water isn't super effective. Electric isn't super effective, and neither is Grass. You're going to have the Dragon Breath, Outrage, and Octazooka. So you have the Dragon moves, mainly to take out the Dragon Pokemon, being the Altaria and the Zweilous. I think the Altaria just outclasses this Pokemon because it just doesn't have much quicker ways to fight back. Outrage is good, but then Sky Attack is better, which obviously where Kingdra is like 25, but this is still a top 30. This is still a very viable Pokemon against the meta in, like, from my personal opinion, where I don't actually have a lot of these good meta Pokemon. There's a lot of decent choices here for you to say, right, I can now use these when you got your Charm Wigglytuffs and things to just hack away, and then you can bring in a Kingdra and just hope to get the one Outrage off and just finish the game. So these are all Pokemon that are usable within PvP Great League. It's just, some of them amaze me. Wormadam trash. Okay, up next we have Whiscash. We have Water Gun, Mud Bomb, and Water Pulse. So again, it's a very interesting Pokemon, this one as well, because it has the 4 times weakness to Grass in the main series games. But it doesn't have that in this game because it's the ground water. So it can take just a few more hits against electric types. Grass types still hurt it a lot, but it's not so much. It's not 4 times. Again, it's kind of rinse and repeat. I'd rather use Blastoise or Empoleon, or maybe even Jellicent, and then it's still obviously outclassed by the Azumarill for your water type. But Whiscash is there, and it is a very good Pokemon if this is what you have, because Barboach is something I actually have quite a few decent ones of, so Whiscash might be something I look into. Wormadam trash is funny. I can't believe it's even on the top 30, but Bug Bite, Iron Head, and Bug Buzz. So it's Steel Bug, so it's got the potential against the fairies. I don't think Azu can do a lot to this thing, so it can hold off against Azumarill. It's got the bug against the Deoxys. It's got the bug against the Scrafty. It's got the bug against the Cresselia. It's got the bug against the dark types, like maybe Umbreon. So it actually does have quite a lot of utility in PvP. So I'm actually really surprised about that. And next we have Noctowl. Noctowl is a very interesting one as well. Wing Attack, Sky Attack, and Psychic. If you're going to be having a flying type, though, I genuinely just think if you have a decent, if you haven't got a decent Skarmory, okay, but normally the Skarmory, Altaria, Mandibuzz, things like that, these are going to be Pokemon that are going to be so much better than Noctowl. But again, if you only have Noctowl, you haven't got a Mandibuzz yet. Pretty sure Mandibuzz isn't even out yet, but when it does, this is obviously more of a broader aspect of these Pokemon being released, because Gen 5 is obviously very, very much in force right now. Next we have Lantern, Water Gun, Thunderbolt, and Thunder. By far the best electric type we've seen on this list. It's just Stunfisk isn't it, man. Just isn't it. Lantern's got the water typing and the electric typing, so it can absorb a few more hits from like grass types as well. And Thunder and Thunderbolt, obviously amazingly good against the Skarmories and the Azumarils. So Lantern is one to definitely keep an eye out for. Then we have Lapras. Lapras is an interesting one because it has the Ice Shard Surf and Skull Bash. Skull Bash is... I don't actually know a lot about Skull Bash, I'll be honest. I'm guessing it's a very, very hard-hitting move. But it's normal, so I'm guessing it just really hits things like... Azu's a bit frail. And then Metacham's a bit frail, and Tropius is a bit frail. So maybe it's just one of them that can just get one off. And you can maybe even just waste a shield with it. It's a very good thing like that. Lapras has got a lot of natural bulk as a water type. I'm surprised it's down here if this is like a top 30. But obviously it's the moves just probably aren't completely in its favour against the rest of the meta. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Bit of just a breakdown of the top 30 Pokemon in the Great League format. I'm going to be doing a lot more. I'm going to be doing, my next video is going to be how you would counter these 30 Pokemon. And then I'm going to do the same with Ultra League and Master League as well. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you guys in the next stream/video. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.